One memory that stands out is when I had to pick up pop cans, because that's how he would collect money to come and see me. But he really never did show up.
You're good. Let it out. Don't swallow it. Don't swallow it. This is what you want. Don't swallow it.
And my kids, and they'll never have to worry about anything like that.
Yeah. The activity we're doing is called the I Am Circle. And one mom at a time is gonna stand up and say something positive about themselves, okay? And if you can relate, stand up where you are, and then we'll go around until everyone has gone.
I'm a good mom.
Oh, who else can relate to being a good mom?
Amber, come on.
Stand up.
Come on. I know things with Amber and her daughter Leah are kind of rocky right now, but I want her to believe that she's a good mom.
This time I'm gonna do it a little differently. Tell us why you don't relate to that.
Sometimes I just don't feel like I am a mom. I let my anger kind of take over my life.
Quit with the yelling all day long.
Jeez, you're yelling. There's no point to yell at her.
You don't discipline her.
I don't yell at her.
You smack her hand, maybe she'll learn.
I just wasn't a good mom. I wasn't there for my daughter when she needed me, and I was an addict and in jail for fighting and all the batteries.
What actions have you taken to become a good mom?
I've literally tried to just keep on being there for my daughter and be there for my son as much as I can. I've changed personally by taking battery intervention classes, anger management classes.
So do you see a change in yourself as a mom?
Yeah, I do. It's just when I went to prison, and I turned myself around, but then I messed up again a couple years ago. It was a whole decade in between, and it's why every time that I have a child am I up? If I keep up every time I have a child, I don't feel like that's a good mom.
It broke my heart because I know what it feels like when I go through stuff and I feel like I'm not a good mom. I feel like I could be better, so I could relate.
There are a lot of parents that don't try at all. There are parents that don't take accountability. There's so many parents, so many moms that don't do what you're doing right now.
If my dad came and was like, I'm taking a class, that's all I would need to never let him out of my sight again. That's all it would take for us to be best friends again.
Yeah, you're doing the work.
I think we're all figuring it out.
Everyone's 100% looks completely different, without judgment. So we ain't judging anyone. You're a good mom, sis. Stand up, stand up, stand up.
Good dad. I'm proud of you.
You're trying, you're putting in the effort, and that's all you can do.
Great things don't happen overnight.
Yeah.
They definitely don't happen overnight.
I'm glad that I ended up standing up and being with them because it made me feel a little bit better. It's okay to stand up and say that you're a good mom when you're trying to be there, even if you can't change your past.
Dee, who'd you show up for?
I'm here for Nova. I'm here, that's it.
You have the power to create an experience for her.
Well, let me lie, I lied. I'm here for her. I need her to really know who I am, because I feel like we dated, around, separated, and started hating each other. I don't think she really know who I am.
I want Brianna to see my worth, I want her to know that I'm not somebody you should even want to ever think about keeping your kid from, I just want her to see my passion is the same as hers. That's the main thing.
The best way you show Bree who you are is by showing her what type of father you can be to your daughter.
Thank you.
Does that make sense, Dee?
That makes thorough sense.
Amen.
Y'all ain't gotta be together, but you decide to have a kid together. And so if you have to empower one another so that that little girl sees peaceful, powerful, powerhouse parents, then that's what you gotta do.
I don't know, I feel like, not that I resent him, but I made a decision to be a parent, the moment Nova was born.
And he was still trying to figure that out. And through
That's accurate.
And through all of that, he put a lot of pressure on me. And I had to put a lot of pressure on my mom because obviously I couldn't do it by myself, but thank God for my mom. But it's like he left us to figure this out on our own. And then once we did figure this out on our own, it was like, I don't need you. I don't need you. I wasn't necessarily thinking about Nova. But now that Nova's older and he's a little bit more, stable, things change. But I feel like I give you a lot of tools sometimes and you don't take them.
You did. I took a few and used a few.
I think one of them is listening to Nova.
She don't never come to me and say, hey, Dad.
Nope, she doesn't. Why?
Maybe she don't feel comfortable yet.
She's scared to hurt your feelings.
It hurts me, too, to think that she's ever like that.
Same.
She's always... She's good at carrying them, not weight on her shoulders.
But we don't want her to become good at carrying weight.
I know she loved me, but there's a thing about a bond, And I just been thinking, like, when am I gonna get that bond?
You don't think you have a bond with Nova?
Not the one I want. I just want you to know.
What's up? Say it.
I love Nova.
I know.
Always.
I know.
And like I'm definitely can do a lot more for her now than what you can remember.
Okay.
I really can.
Is that a commitment?
It's a promise.
Can you look at Bree?
Bree? Promise.
Honestly, in the past, we always used to overtalk each other. So this experience, I realized that it wasn't about me. It wasn't about my feelings. It was about Devon.
Y'all are in bed together forever. May not be doing the do, but you have a child together. And she will be what you make her, D. All right, guys, so I'm gonna leave you here and have...
Thank you. Coach B realized that Devon needs reassurance. Devon needs to feel needed. Devon doesn't believe in himself.
How you feel?
I feel good.
I'm just realizing my imperfections is affecting my fatherhood. And yeah, it's unfair to Nova. But it's up to me to correct it.
Yeah.
I feel like we had a pretty good sit down overall. If that can go good, I think we got a lot good to look forward to,
Ash, how does he show up for you emotionally and how does he not show up for you emotionally?
Sometimes too much. Sometimes if I even go, he's like, why are you breathing heavy?
He's temperature checking. When you are temperature checking, what are you thinking and feeling?
Like, damn, did I do something?
Yeah, and you want to make sure you're not in trouble.
Yeah, that too. I ain't gonna lie, for sure, definitely. I'll be like, damn.
So let's lead on from the trouble piece, because obviously being in trouble is a kid's role.
Yeah.
Not a husband's role. The maturity that she wants of you is the maturity that she's also disabling you.
We did, yeah.
Because if you have the mindset of you being in trouble, I don't care if it's subconsciously or outwardly, you already said it, of being in trouble, that means that little boy in you comes up. And she goes into mama bear mode.
Damn.
Because when you emasculate him, it's really the feelings you feel towards your dad.
Okay, I know what my issue is.
Scream it.
I have daddy issues, okay? My dad was an addict, he was never around. And I married my dad. Even though I have a really great stepfather, my biological father has a substance abuse problem. When he's around, he's not really around because he's kind of absent mentally. And then he also is absent physically for long periods of time. So that really me up as a kid.
Guess what? You're not good enough. Because this dude wasn't good enough. I need you to do more, because this dude didn't do more. But that's also the conversation that you heard somewhere in your youth as a child from one of your parents, because it wouldn't be so familiar to you for you to be comfortable in it.
Yeah.
So who told you you weren't good enough? Bar?
Yeah.
Who told you that you weren't good enough growing up? Bar, look at me. Come over here. Come over here, come over here.
I'm sure.
Just go there. Who told you you weren't good enough?
I don't know.
So where'd it come from? Where's your dad? He ain't been around?
Yeah, he a dope fan.
So he left you hanging. He chose speed, dope, the crack pipe, whatever he was smoking over his son. So you overcompensate with people for what you didn't give, right?
Yeah. Just trauma.
Get out.
Trauma? A lot, yeah. Just going through stuff. Figuring it out, you know.
Thing about you is you're not even resentful or like mad at him. You're just like brokenhearted. You're just brokenhearted. It's okay, it's okay.
Thank you for this.
Got you, thank you. Ash, did you see his pain that just came up right there?
Yeah.
Are you aware or realize that when you emasculate or when you suppress or when you put him in a position to feel like he's less than?
I used to be really, really, really bad with it. But
Right.
I've tried to learn different ways to argue because I know my mouth. I cut to the core.
Okay, so I want you to be aware of when you do that, you are creating and inflaming more of the pain he already has. And as a role of a wife, or even a friend, but a wife, allow him to make his mistakes. You gotta check your venom at the door and let him be human and let him come into his own. That's what emotional support is. And as a husband, your job is to show up and be vulnerable, which I'm not saying you don't, and to work on yourself because you're the backbone. I just wanted to talk a little bit about, when we did our activity before, you had mentioned just like some trust issues that you have. Where does the trust issue stem from? Can you give me some insight on that?
I think just people giving up in the past or
People giving up on you?
betrayal, yeah.
I just want you to tell me more about that and kind of, what those trust issues look like.
I said trust, but I think it's just being guarded and not allowing love in. Like in my relationship now, I just now went exclusive with them.
He's traveling from Georgia to come and see me.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna allow this to happen. But at the same time, it's like, they're too nice, I'm like, something's up. I think it's because of failed relationships in the past. I don't want that to happen again, and I don't think that it's gonna happen.
But you believe it's gonna happen because you're still showing up as though you have to protect from it happening.
Yeah.
So give me some experiences of like just growing up, like your parents or whatever that dynamic was where you said, this is painful, this hurts, like I don't like this.
I mean, I think there's a lot of situations, like my dad wasn't involved. In and out of jail, he was on drugs.
What was that relationship like with you?
My relationship with my dad was horrible.
What questions did you ask yourself as a young girl?
Me and my dad were really, really close up until...
Okay. Will you allow me to say something?
Yeah.
Emotions came up. You deflected and suppressed that quick. I just want you to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not beating you up.
Yeah. No, that's
Coming
fine.
from love.
That's
okay.
fine.
What was in that broken heart? What questions did you ask yourself? Emotions came up. Me and my dad had a great relationship, though. Do you see how you totally deflected?
Yeah.
Let yourself open up, because that's really what you want to do.
One memory that stands out is when I had to pick up pop cans, because that's how he would collect money to come and see me. But he really never did show up.
You're good. Let it out. Don't swallow it. Don't swallow it. This is what you want. Don't swallow it. Leah, don't swallow it. Don't fight it.
Will I ever be good enough?
That's it.
But then I'm like I'll be good enough for me. I'll be good enough for me.
Don't deflect. Stay there. Don't
I know I can take care of me. And my kids, and they'll never have to worry about anything like that.
Yeah.
No, I want to be loved too. The same way that I love, other people just have a hard time accepting it when it happens. So like when someone's showing me that and I really feel like it's like real, I definitely put it away.
But how do you know it's real if your first experience of who was supposed to love you and not drop you showed you nothing but fake?
I didn't realize it was still a block.
I think trust issues stem from my dad being absent and the past failed relationships that I've been in.
After this session with Coach B, it's clear if I don't let my guard down, I could lose Jalen.
You have to learn to open up, even when you feel weird or uncomfortable about it, because it's a commitment you're making with yourself.
Yeah.